Welcome to my channel. I'm Aisha, and I have a question. Have you ever dreamed of speaking English confidently, but felt too shy or stuck to even try? I know that feeling so well. I used to stand in a store, mixing up words like blue muffin instead of blueberry, my face burning as I mumbled. It felt like everyone else was at a party I couldn't join. But then I found a secret weapon. ChatGPT. What if I told you there's a free, fun way to practice English anytime, anywhere, with a patient partner who never laughs at your mistakes? That's ChatGPT. In this video, I'll share 6 simple step-by-step ways to use ChatGPT to speak English like a pro, even if you're an absolute beginner. These are the exact tricks that helped me go from nervous whispers to real conversations. Stick with me, and you'll be amazed at how fast you improve. Let's open that party door together. Your English journey starts now. Chapter 1. Listening like a baby with ChatGPT. When I first started learning English, I felt like I was standing outside a noisy room, hearing voices but not understanding a single word. It was overwhelming. People spoke so fast, their words blending together like a song I didn't know the lyrics to. I remember walking through a grocery store, hearing words like checkout, receipt, and aisle, and feeling lost. Was that even English? But then I realized something amazing. Babies learn to speak by listening first, not by reading books or memorizing rules. They hear their parents, their siblings, the world around them, and slowly their ears get smarter. I decided to copy that idea, and ChatGPT became my secret tool to train my ears. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to listen like a baby, so you can start understanding English naturally, even if you're a complete beginner. These are the exact steps that helped me, and I know they'll work for you too. Let's dive in and make your ears your best English teachers. The first thing you need to do is ask ChatGPT to create simple dialogues for you to listen to. Think of short, everyday conversations, like 2 friends talking about their day or someone ordering food. For example, you can type, "Create a dialogue between 2 friends talking about their weekend in simple English." ChatGPT will give you something like, "Hi Sarah, did you have a good weekend?" "Yes, Tom, I went to the park." "Nice, I watched a movie." It's clear, short, and perfect for beginners. If you have a text-to-speech app, you can paste the dialogue there to hear it read aloud, or you can read it yourself slowly, focusing on the sound of each word. I used to do this while sitting on my couch, just letting the words wash over me like music. The key is to keep it simple. Don't ask for long stories or complicated topics yet. Stick to things you'd hear in real life, like greetings, shopping, or planning a picnic. This trains your ears to recognize the rhythm of English without feeling overwhelmed. Now, here's where the magic happens. You don't just listen once. You listen again and again, just like I did with children's cartoons when I was learning. Back then, I'd watch the same episode of a show about a boy and his dog, hearing phrases like, "Let's go to the park," over and over. At first, I didn't understand everything, but the repetition helped my brain catch the words. You can do the same with ChatGPT's dialogues. The first time, just listen to get used to the sounds. The second time, try to pick out words you know, like hello or good. The third time, say the words out loud after you hear them, even if it's just a whisper. I remember one day, I asked ChatGPT for a dialogue about a picnic. It gave me, "Hey, do you want to have a picnic?" "Sure, I'll bring sandwiches." "Great, I'll bring juice." I read it 5 times, and by the end, I could hear the words in my head even when I wasn't looking at the screen. It was like the words were dancing in my brain, and it felt so exciting. Let me tell you about my first aha moment. It's a memory I'll never forget. I was in a grocery store standing in line when the cashier said, "Next, please." I froze. I'd heard that phrase before, but it always sounded like a blur. Then, suddenly, it clicked. I understood it. It wasn't just noise anymore. It was a real word I knew. That moment happened because I'd been listening to simple phrases at home, letting my ears get used to English. You can create those moments too with ChatGPT. Try this. After listening to a dialogue a few times, pause after each sentence and guess what it means. Don't run to a dictionary or translate it. Just think, what's happening here? For example, if the dialogue says, "I'm hungry, let's eat," you might guess it's about food because of hungry and eat. The pictures in your mind help you learn, just like cartoons helped me. This builds your intuition, and soon you'll understand words without trying. Here's a fun trick I love. Practice whispering ChatGPT's dialogues while you're doing chores. When I was learning, I'd walk around my apartment, cleaning or cooking, and softly say phrases I'd heard. I'd open the fridge and whisper, "I need milk," or fold clothes and say, "This is soft." It felt silly at first, like I was talking to myself, but it worked. You can do this with ChatGPT's dialogues too. While you're washing dishes, whisper, "Let's go to the park," or "I like juice." It's like sneaking English practice into your day without extra effort. The best part? Your brain is learning even when you're not trying to memorize. I learned this the hard way. I used to think I needed to study every word, but when I relaxed and just listened, my brain did the work for me. One day I heard clearance in a store and knew it meant a sale, all because I'd listened to similar words before. Your brain is smarter than you think. Let's talk about why this works. When you listen like a baby, you're not stressing about grammar or spelling. You're letting English become a sound, a feeling, a part of your world. ChatGPT makes it easy because it gives you exactly what you need. Simple, real-life words you'll hear in stores, cafes, or conversations. You can even ask it to make dialogues for specific places, like create a conversation in a coffee shop with easy words. Try listening to the same dialogue every day for a week. You'll be shocked at how familiar the words feel. I remember practicing phrases like, "Can I have a coffee?" so many times that when I finally said it in a real coffee shop, it felt natural, like I'd been saying it forever. That's the power of listening. It builds a foundation for everything else. And don't worry if you don't understand every word. Babies don't understand everything either, but they keep listening, and so can you. Before we move on, let me share one more story. One evening, I was listening to a ChatGPT dialogue about two friends planning a movie night. It had lines like, "What movie should we watch?" and "I like funny movies." I read it aloud while stirring soup in my kitchen, feeling a little silly but happy. The next day, I overheard two people at the bus stop talking about movies. One said, "I want something funny." My heart jumped. I understood it. It wasn't just a sound anymore. It was a real conversation I could follow. That moment made me realize my ears were getting stronger, and it all started with listening to simple words at home. You're going to have those moments too, and they'll feel like little victories. So keep listening, keep whispering, and let ChatGPT be your guide. Your ears are learning, and soon they'll be ready for the next step. By now, you're training your ears to hear English like a baby, and that's huge, but listening is just the beginning. To speak English, you need to start using your voice, even if it's just a whisper at first. In the next chapter, we'll use ChatGPT to help you speak to yourself, building confidence without anyone watching. Get ready. It's going to be fun, and I'll share the tricks that helped me say my first sentences out loud. Chapter 2. Speaking to yourself with ChatGPT. Listening to English, like we talked about in the last chapter, is like opening a door to a new world. But to really step inside that world, you need to start speaking, even if it's just a whisper at first. I remember when I decided to speak English out loud. It felt scary, like trying to sing in front of a crowd. I was afraid of making mistakes or sounding silly, but I found a way to practice alone, with no one watching, and it changed everything. That's where ChatGPT comes in. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to start speaking to yourself, building confidence without any fear. These are the simple steps that helped me go from silent listening to saying my first sentences out loud, and they're perfect for absolute beginners like you. You'll be amazed at how just a few minutes a day can make your voice stronger and your heart braver. Let's get started and make speaking English feel like a fun, private adventure. The first step is to ask ChatGPT for short, easy phrases you can say out loud. Think of things you'd say in your daily life, like, "I need eggs," or "It's sunny today." You can type, "Give me 10 short English sentences I can say while cooking or cleaning." ChatGPT might give you, "I'm washing dishes," "This soup smells good," or "I dropped a spoon." These are perfect because they're simple and real. Start by reading one phrase quietly to yourself, like a secret. I used to do this in my kitchen, standing by the stove whispering, "I'm cooking breakfast." It felt strange at first, like I was talking to no one, but that was the point. No one was there to judge me. Try saying the phrase a few times, starting soft, then a little louder. Look at yourself in a mirror if you're feeling brave, like I did. I'd stare at my reflection and say, "Let's go to the store," watching my lips move. It helped me feel like the words were really mine. Let me share a funny moment that made me laugh at myself. One morning, I was making eggs, practicing phrases from ChatGPT. I dropped my fork, and it clattered on the floor. Without thinking, I said, "Oops, that was loud." I giggled because it felt like I was in a movie, narrating my own life. But that silly moment was a big deal. It was the first time I spoke English without planning, just because it felt natural. You can create those moments too. Ask ChatGPT for phrases about what you're doing right now. For example, if you're getting ready for the day, type, "Give me 5 sentences about brushing my teeth or getting dressed in simple English." You might get, "I'm brushing my teeth," "My shirt is blue," or "I need my shoes." Say them while you're doing those things. It's like turning your routine into a secret English class, and it's so easy you won't even feel like you're studying. Here's a tip that made speaking fun for me. Try mimicking ChatGPT's rhythm and tone. When you read a phrase like, "I'm hungry," "Let's eat," imagine you're a character in a show. Say it with a smile like you're excited about food. Or if it's, "I'm tired," say it slowly like you're yawning. This helps you sound more natural and makes practice feel like a game. I used to pretend I was hosting a cooking show saying, "These eggs are good," while stirring my pan. It was silly, but it worked. My voice got stronger, and I stopped worrying about perfect pronunciation. You can ask ChatGPT for phrases with feelings too, like, "Give me 5 sentences about how I feel today in simple English." You might get, "I'm happy today," or "I feel a little nervous." Say them out loud, matching the emotion. It's like acting, and it builds your confidence without you even noticing. I know what you might be thinking. "Aisha, this sounds embarrassing. What if I sound weird?" I felt that way too. The first time I spoke to myself in the mirror, my face turned red. I thought, who talks to themselves like this? But then I remembered something. Babies don't care if they sound silly when they babble. They just try, and that's how they learn. I decided to be kind to myself, like I was my own baby learning English. One night, I sat on my bed and promised, "I'll speak for 2 minutes every day, even if it's messy." I asked ChatGPT for a list of phrases like, "The sky is blue," or "I like music," and I said them slowly. Some words came out wrong, but I kept going. Over time, that feeling of being silly faded, and I started to love hearing my own voice. You'll get there too. Just give yourself permission to try. The most amazing thing happened after a few weeks of this. I started thinking in English. It was so surprising. One day, I looked at my coffee mug and thought, "This is hot," instead of translating from my first language. It felt like my brain had flipped a switch. That moment gave me so much hope, and it all came from those small, daily practices. You can make this happen too, by speaking for just 2 or 3 minutes a day. Before bed, ask ChatGPT for 5 phrases about your day, like, "I had a busy day," or "I saw a bird outside." Say them out loud, like you're telling a friend. I used to do this while lying in bed, whispering, "Today was good. I'm tired now." It felt like talking to myself was building a bridge to real conversations, one word at a time. Let me tell you about a memory that showed me I was growing. One afternoon, I was folding laundry, practicing phrases like, "This shirt is soft," from ChatGPT. My phone rang, and it was a delivery person saying, "I'm here with your package." Without thinking, I replied, "Okay, I'm coming." It wasn't perfect, but I said it, and it felt so easy. All those quiet moments speaking to myself had prepared me for that tiny, real-life talk. You're going to have those moments too, and they'll feel like little fireworks in your heart. Keep practicing, even when it feels small. Every word you say is a step toward being braver, stronger, and ready to speak with others. Speaking to yourself with ChatGPT is like planting seeds for confidence. It's safe, it's fun, and it's all about you growing at your own pace. But once your voice starts feeling stronger, you'll want to take it to the next level. In the next chapter, we'll turn ChatGPT into your conversation partner so you can practice real back-and-forth talks like chatting with a friend. Get ready. It's going to feel like magic, and I'll share how it helped me speak with real people. Chapter 3: Having Conversations with ChatGPT. Speaking to yourself, like we practiced in the last chapter, is like warming up your voice for a big performance. It's safe, it's fun, and it builds courage. But to really feel like you're speaking English, you need to practice conversations, the kind where you talk back and forth, like with a friend. That's where ChatGPT becomes your secret weapon. I used to be so nervous about talking to real people. My heart would race, and I'd forget every word I knew. So I started pretending with my phone, and ChatGPT made it feel like I was chatting with a patient friend who never got annoyed. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to turn ChatGPT into your conversation partner by role-playing real-life talks, like ordering coffee or catching up with a buddy. These steps are perfect for absolute beginners, and they helped me go from shy whispers to speaking with real people. Let's make English feel like a lively chat you can't wait to have. The first thing you do is ask ChatGPT to role-play a conversation with you. Think of situations you might face, like talking to a cashier or a neighbor. Type something like, "Pretend you're a cashier at a bakery and I'm ordering food. Use simple English." ChatGPT might respond, "Welcome to my bakery. Do you want a muffin?" You reply out loud, "Yes, a blueberry muffin, please." Then ChatGPT says, "Great. Anything else?" Keep going, saying your answers aloud, like you're really at the counter. I loved doing this because it felt like acting in a play, but with no audience to make me nervous. Save ChatGPT's responses on your phone or write them down so you can practice the same dialogue again. I used to save dialogues in my Notes app and read them while sitting on my bed, pretending I was in a busy shop. It's like rehearsing for a moment you'll have in real life, and it makes those moments feel less scary when they happen. Let's try a fun role play to show you how it works. One of my favorites was pretending ChatGPT was a barista at a coffee shop. I typed, "Act like a barista, and I'm ordering a drink. Keep it simple." ChatGPT said, "Hi, welcome to my cafe. Do you want coffee or tea?" I said out loud, "Coffee, please, a small one." ChatGPT replied, "Sure. Do you want milk?" I answered, "Yes, a little milk." I added a smile to my voice like I was really at a counter, and it felt so real. I practiced this dialogue 3 times, each time trying to sound more natural, maybe adding, "Thanks," at the end. You can make it even more fun by changing the mood. Ask ChatGPT to be a cheerful barista one day, then a tired one the next. Say the lines with the same energy, like, "Hi, coffee please," for a happy barista, or a slower, "Can I have coffee?" for a tired one. This helps you practice how English sounds in different situations, and it's like playing a game that makes you better at speaking. I want to share a story from when I started doing this. I used to pretend I was calling a friend, holding my phone to my ear like it was real. I'd say, "Hi, how are you?" and imagine ChatGPT answering, "I'm good. What about you?" I'd reply, "I'm okay. I went to the park today." I'd make up both sides of the talk, practicing in my room where no one could hear me. It felt silly at first, like I was a kid playing pretend, but it was so helpful. I'd ask ChatGPT for dialogue ideas like, "Give me a short phone call between two friends in simple English." Then I'd act it out, adding emotion, maybe laughing when I said, "That's funny," or sounding excited for, "Let's meet tomorrow." Those pretend calls built my confidence, like I was training my mouth to know what to say. And the best part? I could mess up as many times as I wanted, and ChatGPT never cared. It was my safe space to try, fail, and try again. Here's a trick that helped me see my progress. Record yourself practicing these conversations. I know. It sounds awkward. The first time I recorded myself, I cringed hearing my voice, but it was so useful. I'd ask ChatGPT for a dialogue, like two coworkers talking about lunch, and I'd say my lines out loud. "What did you eat today?" "Oh, I had a sandwich." Then I'd play the recording back. At first, my voice was shaky, and I paused a lot. But after a week, I sounded clearer, with fewer stumbles. You can do this too. Use your phone's voice recorder or video app, say the dialogue, and listen later. Don't judge yourself. Just notice what's better each time. I remember watching one of my videos and smiling because I said, "I like your shirt," so smoothly, like a real compliment. Those recordings showed me I was growing, even when I didn't feel it. Let me tell you about a moment that proved this practice works. One day, my neighbor knocked on my door and asked, "Do you have any batteries for a flashlight?" My heart jumped. I wasn't ready. But all those pretend conversations with ChatGPT kicked in. I said, "Yes, I think I do. Let me check." I found the batteries, handed them to her, and she said, "Thanks, Aisha. You're always so helpful." I smiled and said, "No problem." It was a short talk, but it felt huge. I didn't freeze. I didn't mumble. I spoke, and it was because I'd practiced lines like that with ChatGPT, pretending to help someone or answer questions. That moment made me realize I was ready for real conversations, and you'll get there too. Every role play you do is like a rehearsal for those exciting real-life moments. To make your practice even better, try different roles and situations. One day, ask ChatGPT to be a teacher. Pretend you're a teacher asking me about my homework in simple English. Another day, try a friend planning a movie night. Act like my friend, and we're picking a movie. Mix it up to keep it fun. You can also ask ChatGPT to correct your mistakes kindly, like, "If I say something wrong, fix it gently." For example, if you say, "I go store," ChatGPT might reply, "Nice try." You can say, "I'm going to the store." This helps you learn without feeling bad. I used to practice different moods too, like sounding happy or tired, to make my voice more natural. It's like trying on different outfits. You find what feels like you. Before we wrap up, let's talk about why this is so powerful. Role-playing with ChatGPT is like practicing a sport before a big game. You're training your brain to think fast and your mouth to say the right words. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep talking. I wasn't perfect when I spoke to my neighbor, but I did it, and that's what matters. You'll have those moments too, where you surprise yourself with how much you can say. So grab your phone, start a role play, and let ChatGPT be your patient partner. Practice a little every day, and you'll feel your confidence grow like a flower opening up. Now that you're chatting with ChatGPT, you're getting ready for real conversations. But what happens when you make mistakes in those talks? Don't worry, they're part of the journey. In the next chapter, we'll use ChatGPT to learn from mistakes so you can keep growing without fear. Get ready. I'll share a funny story about a mistake that taught me a lot. Chapter 4: Learning from Mistakes with ChatGPT. Practicing conversations with ChatGPT, like we did in the last chapter, is like rehearsing for a big moment on stage. You're getting ready to shine. But here's the truth. When you start speaking English in real life, you're going to make mistakes. I used to think mistakes were something to hide, like spilling juice on a white shirt. But then I learned they're not stains, they're teachers. Every time I said something wrong, I learned a little more about English, and ChatGPT became my guide to turn those mix-ups into growth. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to embrace mistakes as your best teachers and use ChatGPT to fix them, so you can keep speaking with confidence. These are the exact steps that helped me laugh at my errors and get better, and they're perfect for absolute beginners like you. Let's dive in and make mistakes your secret weapon for learning English. The first thing to do is see mistakes as proof you're trying. When I started speaking English, I was so scared of saying the wrong thing that I'd stay quiet. But staying quiet didn't help me grow. Speaking did, even when I got it wrong. One way to learn from mistakes is to ask ChatGPT to correct your sentences. For example, if you say, "I go store," you can type, "I said I go store." Is that correct? ChatGPT might reply, "Nice try." You can say, "I'm going to the store." Write down the correction in a notebook or save it on your phone like I did. I had a little notebook where I wrote things like, not "I am boring," but "I am bored." Then, practice the corrected sentence out loud a few times. I'd sit on my bed saying, "I'm going to the store," until it felt natural. This turns your mistake into a lesson you won't forget. And it's like having a kind teacher who's always ready to help. Let me tell you about a funny mistake I made. It still makes me giggle. One day, I walked into a bakery near my apartment, determined to order in English. I practiced in my head, "Blueberry muffin, please." But when I got to the counter, my nerves took over, and I blurted out, "Hi, I want a blue muffin, please." Blue muffin? My face turned red as the cashier smiled and said, "Do you mean blueberry?" I laughed and said, "Yes, sorry, blueberry." She handed me the muffin, and I left feeling embarrassed but proud. I'd made a mistake, but I spoke, and the world didn't end. That night, I asked ChatGPT. I said blue muffin instead of blueberry muffin. How do I say it right? It explained the word blueberry and gave me a sample sentence. I'd like a blueberry muffin. I practiced it 10 times, and the next time I went to the bakery, I got it right. That mistake taught me more than any perfect sentence ever could. Here's a great way to keep learning. Use your corrected sentences in ChatGPT role plays. After my blue muffin mix-up, I typed, "Pretend you're a cashier and I'm ordering a blueberry muffin in simple English." ChatGPT said, "Welcome to my bakery. What do you want?" I said out loud, "A blueberry muffin, please." We went back and forth, and I practiced the right words until they felt easy. You can do this with any mistake. If you say, "I am happy yesterday," ask ChatGPT to fix it. "I was happy yesterday." Then role-play a conversation where you talk about yesterday. "Hi, how was your day yesterday?" "I was happy yesterday." This makes your corrections stick, like gluing a new word into your brain. I used to role-play these scenes while folding laundry, saying the lines like I was in a real shop. It's fun, and it builds confidence for real-life talks. I want to share another story that showed me how kind people can be. One day, I was chatting with a coworker, trying to say I wasn't enjoying a slow day. I said, "I am boring today." She laughed gently and said, "Do you mean you're bored?" I blushed but nodded. "Yes, bored." She smiled and said, "Your English is really good, Aisha. Keep going." That moment stayed with me. My mistake didn't make her judge me. It made her cheer for me. I went home and asked ChatGPT, "What's the difference between boring and bored?" It explained, "Boring is when something isn't interesting. Bored is when you feel uninterested." I wrote it down and practiced, "I'm bored today." The next day, I used it correctly, and it felt like a small victory. Mistakes like that showed me people are kinder than I thought, and ChatGPT helped me turn embarrassment into progress. Here's a tip to make mistakes your friends. Ask ChatGPT about common beginner mistakes. Type, "What are 5 mistakes English learners make, and how do I fix them?" You might get answers like, saying, "I have 20 years instead of I'm 20 years old." For each one, ChatGPT can give you a correct sentence to practice, like, "I'm 20 years old." I did this and filled my notebook with fixes like, not "I am waiting the bus," but "I'm waiting for the bus." I'd read them before bed, saying each one aloud. It was like collecting little treasures. Each mistake I learned from made me stronger. You can even ask ChatGPT for a dialogue using those corrections like, "Create a conversation where I say my age correctly." Practice it, and you'll feel proud every time you get it right. Let's talk about why this works. Mistakes aren't signs you're failing. They're signs you're brave enough to try. Every time you mess up and fix it with ChatGPT, you're building a stronger foundation for speaking. I used to think I needed perfect English to talk to people, but I learned that mistakes are part of the journey. One day, a cashier said, "Your English is great," after I ordered coffee, even though I'd stumbled on a word. I smiled so big because I knew my mistakes had led me there. You'll have those moments too. Keep a notebook, practice your corrections, and let ChatGPT be your guide. Every mistake you learn from is like a step closer to confident conversations. Before we move on, here's one more thought. Be kind to yourself when you mess up. I used to get frustrated when I said the wrong word, but then I'd tell myself, Aisha, you're learning, just like a baby. That helped me keep going. Try it. When you make a mistake, laugh, write it down, and practice the right way with ChatGPT. You're not just fixing errors, you're building courage. And that courage is what will carry you to real conversations. Now that you're learning from mistakes, you're ready to take on real-life talks. But how do you prepare for those fast, lively conversations with real people? In the next chapter, we'll use ChatGPT to get you ready for real chats so you can speak without fear. Get ready. I'll share how I survived my first group conversation, and you'll love it. Chapter 5. Preparing for real conversations with ChatGPT. Learning from mistakes, like we did in the last chapter, is like fixing the cracks in a bridge. You're making it stronger with every step. Now, you're ready to cross that bridge into real conversations, where people talk, laugh, and sometimes speak so fast it feels like a whirlwind. I used to think I could only talk one-on-one, but group conversations, they scared me. People used slang, interrupted each other, and I felt like I was chasing a train I couldn't catch. But ChatGPT helped me practice for those lively chats, and I went from nervous to excited. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to prepare for real conversations, especially in groups, so you can join in without fear. These steps are perfect for absolute beginners, and they helped me speak in front of others and feel like I belonged. Let's get ready to jump into real talks, and I promise, it's going to be easier than you think. The first step is to use ChatGPT to practice group conversations, like a bunch of friends chatting. Group talks are tricky because everyone speaks at once, and you need to keep up. Ask ChatGPT for a dialogue like, create a conversation between 4 friends talking about movies in simple English. You might get, hey, I saw a new movie. Was it good? Yeah, it was funny. I like action movies better. Read it aloud, pretending you're one of the friends. Say your line like, I like funny movies, with a smile, then pause and imagine the others replying. I used to do this on my couch, acting out all the parts like I was in a play. It helped me get used to the back and forth of groups. Practice responding to questions from the dialogue like, what's your favorite movie? Try answering, I like comedies, or I saw a great movie last week. This trains your brain to think fast, so you're ready when real people ask you questions. Let's try a fun example to make it lively. I loved practicing a dialogue where friends debated pizza toppings. I typed, create a simple conversation between 3 friends arguing about pizza toppings. ChatGPT gave me, pineapple on pizza is the best. No way, pineapple is weird. I like pepperoni. I read it aloud, laughing at the argument, and practiced my line. Pepperoni is my favorite. I'd say it with energy, like I was defending my choice, then answer ChatGPT's next line. Why pepperoni? I'd reply, "It's spicy and yummy." I practiced this dialogue a few times, trying different tones, excited, serious, or joking. You can do this too. Ask ChatGPT for a group chat about something fun, like food or TV shows, and say your lines out loud. It's like being at a party without leaving your room, and it makes group talks feel less scary. Here's a story that changed how I saw conversations. I saw a flyer at the library for an English conversation circle where people practiced speaking. I was so nervous, my hands were shaking as I stood outside the door. I thought, I'm not ready for this. But I pushed the door open and joined. There were 8 people around a table, and the leader, Jane, said, "Let's introduce ourselves." When it was my turn, my heart raced, but I said, "Hi, I'm Aisha. I'm from Florida, and I like reading books." My voice was quiet, but I did it. Everyone smiled, and a few people clapped, saying, "Nice to meet you." That moment felt like a warm hug. It showed me I could speak in a group, even if I was nervous. I went home and used ChatGPT to practice introductions. Create a dialogue where I introduce myself in a group. I said, "I'm Aisha and I like reading," over and over, and it helped me feel braver for the next meeting. To get ready for real talks, practice specific situations with ChatGPT. Think of places you might chat, like a coffee shop or a park. Type, "Give me 10 simple phrases for a coffee shop conversation." You might get, "Can I have a coffee? Is it busy today? I like your cafe." Practice saying them aloud like you're ordering a drink. I did this before going to a coffee shop meetup with friends. I asked ChatGPT for phrases like, "What's your favorite drink?" and practiced saying, "I like lattes." When I got there, someone asked, "What do you usually order?" And I said, "A latte," so easily. You can also prepare for group settings, like a book club. Ask, "Create a simple book club discussion about a story." Practice lines like, "I liked the ending," or "The character was funny." This makes real chats feel like you've done them before. Group conversations often have slang, and that can feel like a puzzle. I remember hearing, "That's a bummer" in a group and thinking, "What's a bummer?" Ask ChatGPT to explain slang like, "What does bummer mean?" and give me a sentence with it. It might say, "Bummer means something disappointing." Example, "It's a bummer it's raining." Practice the sentence aloud. "It's a bummer it's raining." I did this with phrases like binge watch and totally, and it helped me follow fast talks. You can even ask, "Give me 5 slang words people use when talking about TV shows." Say them in a ChatGPT dialogue like, "I totally binge-watched that show." This makes you sound natural, like you've been chatting in English forever. Here's a trick for fast-talking groups. Practice simple replies to stay in the conversation. You don't need to say a lot, just enough to show you're listening. Ask ChatGPT for short responses like, "Give me 5 easy replies for a group chat." You might get, "That's cool. Really? I agree. Nice." Practice saying, "That's cool," with a nod, like you're at a table with friends. I used this in my library circle when someone said, "I love mystery books." I didn't know what to say, so I smiled and said, "That's cool." It kept me in the talk without stress. You can practice these replies in a ChatGPT group dialogue, responding to lines like, "I saw a great movie," with "nice." It's like a safety net for when groups talk too fast. Let me share why this matters. After a few library meetings, I started feeling like I belonged. I'd say small things like, "I like that idea," or ask, "What's your favorite book?" People nodded, smiled, and included me. My ChatGPT practice gave me the words and courage to join in. You'll feel this too, maybe not the first time, but with practice. Every group chat you try with ChatGPT is like a warm-up for real ones. You're learning to handle the speed, the slang, and the excitement of talking with others. Now that you're preparing for real conversations, you're so close to making English a part of your life. But how do you keep going every day? In the next chapter, we'll use ChatGPT to build a daily English habit so speaking becomes as natural as breathing. Get ready. I'll share a story about a dog named Peanut that showed me how far I'd come. Chapter 6. Building a daily English habit with ChatGPT. Preparing for real conversations, like we did in the last chapter, is like packing your bag for a big trip. You're almost ready to go. But to make English a part of your life, you need to practice every day, just like brushing your teeth or drinking water. When I started learning English, I realized that small daily habits were the secret to growing confident. A few minutes each day with ChatGPT changed me from someone who was scared to speak to someone who could chat with strangers. In this final chapter, I'm going to show you how to build a daily English habit with a simple 5 to 10 minute ChatGPT routine that's perfect for absolute beginners. You'll listen, speak, role play, and fix mistakes, all while having fun. I'll share a story about a dog named Peanut that showed me how far I'd come, and by the end, you'll feel excited to make English your everyday friend. Let's make speaking English as natural as breathing. The key to a daily habit is keeping it short and easy, so it fits into your life. I found that 5 to 10 minutes with ChatGPT every day was enough to make a huge difference. Here's a routine I love. Start by listening to a short ChatGPT dialogue, like two friends talking about their day. Type, "Create a simple conversation between two friends about their morning in easy English." You might get, "Good morning. Did you sleep well?" "Yes, I did. I had eggs for breakfast." Read it aloud or use a text-to-speech app to hear it, just like we did in Chapter 1. Then, speak by repeating one line, like, "I had eggs for breakfast," 3 times, adding a smile to your voice. Next, role play by pretending you're one of the friends, answering, "I slept okay. What about you?" Finally, fix a mistake. Ask ChatGPT, "If I say I eat eggs today, is that right?" It might correct you. Say, "I ate eggs today." Practice the right sentence. I did this routine while sipping my morning coffee, and it felt like a warm-up for my day. Let me show you how this looks in action. One evening, I sat on my bed and typed, "Give me a 5-sentence dialogue about going to a park in simple English." ChatGPT gave me, "I'm going to the park." "Nice. Is it sunny?" "Yes, it's warm." "Will you walk or run?" "I'll walk." I spent 2 minutes listening to it, reading it slowly to catch the rhythm. Then I spoke for 2 minutes saying, "I'm going to the park," with different tones: happy, tired, excited. For role play, I pretended I was talking to a friend, adding, "I saw a dog there yesterday." I spent a minute asking ChatGPT to correct a mistake. I said, "I go park. Is that correct?" It replied, "Say, I'm going to the park." I practiced the right phrase 3 times. This took about 7 minutes, and it was so easy. You can do this while eating breakfast or before bed. It's like a quick workout for your English, and it adds up fast. To keep your habit fresh, mix up your practice every day. One day, focus on listening to a ChatGPT dialogue about a store. "Can I have a coffee?" "Sure, here you go." Another day, speak phrases about your feelings. "I'm happy today." Or role play as a teacher. "Did you do your homework?" I loved mixing it up because it kept me excited. You can ask ChatGPT for new prompts like, "Give me 5 questions to talk about my day in simple English." You might get, "What did you eat?" "Did you see a friend?" Say your answers aloud. "I ate rice." "I saw my sister." I used to do this at night, lying in bed, answering questions like I was telling a friend about my day. It felt cozy, like a bedtime story, and it helped me think in English without trying too hard. Try different topics, food, weather, plans, to make each day a new adventure. Here's a story that showed me how powerful daily habits are. One sunny afternoon, I was at the park sitting on a bench when a woman next to me sneezed. I said, "Bless you," without thinking. She smiled and said, "Thank you." Then, feeling brave, I asked, "Do you come here a lot?" She replied, "Yeah, I bring my dog, Peanut, every day." She pointed to a little brown dog chasing a ball. I said, "Peanut is so cute." We talked for 5 minutes about her dog, the park, and the weather. I made a small mistake saying, "I come here yesterday," instead of "I came here yesterday," but she didn't mind. I walked home feeling taller, not because I was perfect, but because I had a real conversation. That moment happened because of my daily ChatGPT routine, listening to dialogues, practicing questions like, "Do you come here often?" and fixing mistakes. It was like all those tiny practices bloomed into a real talk with a stranger. To see how far you're going, track your progress by recording yourself once a week. I used to record myself saying a short ChatGPT dialogue like, "I'm going to the store. Do you want anything?" At first my voice was quiet and I stumbled. But after a month I sounded clearer, like I meant every word. You can do this too. Ask ChatGPT for a simple conversation, record yourself saying it, and save it on your phone. A week later, record a new one and compare. I remember watching one of my old recordings and laughing. I sounded so nervous. But the new one was smooth, like, "I had a great day today." Seeing that growth made me so proud. It's like watching a plant grow from a seed. You don't see it every day, but over time, it's beautiful. Here's why this habit is so special. It makes English a part of who you are. When I started practicing daily, I stopped seeing English as a school subject. It became a way to live, laugh, and connect. You don't need hours, just 5 to 10 minutes with ChatGPT, and you're building a bridge to a confident you. I wasn't perfect in my peanut conversation, but I spoke, and that's what counts. You'll have those moments too, where you surprise yourself with what you can say. So grab your phone, start your routine, and let ChatGPT be your daily buddy. Every word you say, every mistake you fix, every role play you try, it's all adding bricks to your bridge. As we wrap up, let me leave you with this. Learning English is a journey, not a race. You're not trying to finish. You're learning to live in a new language, one small habit at a time. My daily practice with ChatGPT turned me from someone who hid behind silence to someone who could chat about a dog named Peanut. You're already on your way, and every day you practice, you're getting closer to conversations that make you smile. Keep going, keep trying, and watch how your English grows into something you love. You've learned so much in these 6 chapters, and now it's time to put it all into action. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these 6 ways to use ChatGPT have sparked excitement to speak English with confidence. You're already taking big steps just like I did. If you learned something new, please hit the like button. It helps my channel reach more English learners like you. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss my next tips to make English fun and easy. In the comments, share one English phrase you want to practice with ChatGPT today. I read every comment and can't wait to hear from you. You're building your bridge to confident conversations, one word at a time. Keep practicing, stay brave, and I'll see you in the next video with more ways to shine in English.